Hi everybody, welcome to this 20-minute class. We are going to be practicing several different kinds of forward bends. So this will be really great to help release any tension, especially in the back of the body. We'll do some hip movement, some leg movement, and we'll even add in a little bit of twisting. So my props that I'm using today are pretty simple. I've got a yoga blanket, and then I also have a yoga strap. If you don't have these two things, that's completely okay. You can practice without them. You can also use a towel, or for a strap, you can use a belt if you have one. Anything like that will work. And these are just kind of added on to bring you more comfort. So if you don't have them, don't worry about it. You can also practice in a chair. I will give you different options for that as well. So find your place either seated in a chair or on the mat, and we'll get started. Great. We'll start with some breathing. So just kind of settling into wherever you are. Eyes can be closed. Maybe you soften the shoulders and the jaw a little bit. You can even take some ha breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. About 5 more breaths wherever you are. Nice. In a yoga practice, forward folding can be used for all kinds of different benefits. But in the emotional area, or that emotional energy space of ourselves, forward folds tend to be more for turning inward. So if you're feeling kind of like you're being pulled in different directions, or maybe you're feeling really overwhelmed and you're having a hard time connecting to your own intuition, to your own voice, to your own wants and needs, doing a forward folding practice can kind of help calm down that outer noise and maybe bring a little more clarity into your own truth or your own needs, desires, wants. So as we move through this practice, really connect to what feels good for you. The more we can kind of settle in or surrender or let go, it will give us again that opportunity for deeper inward connection. So starting in a seated position, whatever that means for you, maybe you'll start cross-legged if that feels okay. If you're seated in a chair, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat or the floor. And we're going to start with just a little bit of rocking forward and backwards. So because we're going to be doing mainly forward folds here, we want to work a little bit on that tilting of the pelvis. So I'm just going to turn sideways for a moment, kind of show you what I'm talking about. So not really this shape of the rounding. We're trying to keep the spine long and just kind of tilting the pelvis forward, and the spine just follows along. So let's do that a few more times, checking in with the body, noticing how that feels, maybe noticing how far we want to go, how kind of where our natural stopping point is. So doing that maybe 3 more times, just kind of forward and back. Great. And then if you're cross-legged, switch the legs if that feels okay. So take that opposite foot in front and we'll continue on for that little bit of rocking. So you might notice that now when you have that other foot in front, things kind of change up a bit. That's pretty normal, because especially when we go into a seated position with our legs crossed, we tend to always put that same foot in front. So it's good to change it up, kind of help the body move a little bit more towards balance. We'll take a few more rocks here. Good. Nice. And then wherever you are, if you have your feet switched, switch them back again. Tilt forward and pause. Hands can stay on thighs. They can come down to the floor. You can slide the hands down the legs if you're in a seated position. And we're just going to pause here for a few breaths. Eyes can close. You can even go more forward if you want. Maybe deepening that forward fold. Five more breaths. Good. Slowly walking those hands back up if they've walked forward, coming back upright. Great. We're going to fold forward again and add a little gentle twist. So maybe the hands stay on the thighs here and we take that gentle, kind of slight tilt forward. If you want to take the hands down more, you can. And we'll start with that right side, just sweeping that right arm out a little bit and then bringing it back to start. So we'll do that a couple more times. Spine stays long wherever you are. So if you feel like you've walked your hands so far forward that it's kind of hard to keep that long spine, walk them back a little bit. Good. Maybe each time you move that arm, opens up a little bit more, maybe not. Let's take one more breath, sweep that arm open, and then we'll pause here in this twist for 2 breaths. And slowly bring that right hand down. Let's try it on the other side. So again, just kind of gentle sweeps out. Doesn't have to be very far. Good. Maybe an arm moves a little bit more with each one, maybe not. Good. Let's take one more sweep. And then the next time you bring that arm up or out, pausing. One more breath here. Good. Slowly release that hand down, walk those hands back up to center, and roll the shoulders up and back. Very good. Let's add a little bit more to our forward folding. So we're going to keep one leg in and one leg out. So let's take left leg in, right leg long. If you're seated, that just means you're going to step that left foot in a little closer to the chair and extend your right leg away. This is a good time to use your strap or towel or whatever it is you have handy, a belt maybe, and you can bring it around the bottom of that right foot. So this is really up to you alignment wise. You can have the leg going straight out in front. That'll be more of a hamstring, so like back of the leg or calf stretch. If it feels more comfortable for you, you can have it out to the side, and that'll be a little bit more of an inner thigh stretch. So you get to choose. So whatever shape you want to take, find your way there. Maybe you're holding onto the strap, maybe fingertips are to the floor or the chair, lift up nice and tall, and we'll start to tilt. So again, it's all about that tilting motion. Tilting the pelvis, keeping the spine long. Maybe hands stay on the strap if you're using it, or a towel. Maybe hands come to the mat or the chair or the leg. Wherever you are, we'll be here a few more breaths. One more breath here. And then slowly coming back up. Great. Let's switch sides. So take that left foot out. Again, maybe it's more straight in front. Maybe it's more to the side. You choose what feels better for you. Lifting up tall. Maybe you're using that strap, maybe not. When you're ready, exhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Start to find that little bit of a lean. Hands again can stay on the strap or towel, or maybe fingertips come down to the floor, the chair, or the leg. As you move into these forward folds, settling into your rhythm of breath, softening what you can, shoulders, jaw. Two more breaths. And then slowly coming back up. Great. Let's switch sides again. So take that right leg out, left leg in, and we'll add a little bit of a twist here. So your right hand's going to stay either on your leg or on your strap. Left hand is going to reach out and maybe back, and then bring it forward. Good. Again, out and back, and maybe forward. Good. Do that a couple more times. Out and back, and sweep it forward. One more time. Out and back, and pause. Tall spine, reaching that left hand back. One more breath. And then slowly bringing hands back to center. We'll switch it out. Take that left leg around the strap or towel or whatever it is you're using. Now left hand is going to stay either on the leg or on the strap. And we'll start that movement in the right hand. So sweeping that right arm out and back, and sweeping it forward, and bringing that hand out and back, and sweeping it forward. Maybe like you're kind of drawing in an arrow as you bring that right hand back, and then sweeping that hand outward. So bring that right hand in towards the chest and to the shoulder, and then extending that arm out. Let's do that two more times, sweeping back. And then around. Good. One more time, sweeping back. And around. Great. Bring it back to center. Release the strap. Strap can move to the side for now. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So if you're seated on a mat, it'll look somewhat like me. Legs don't have to be in super close. They can be farther away if that feels better for knees and hips. If you're seated in a chair, just bring your feet close together and let the knees kind of fall out a little bit to the side. We'll all be making about the similar shape, just might be a little bit different. Inhale again, get nice and tall wherever you are. Exhale, slowly start to fold forward. Hands again can come to legs. Maybe they come down to the mat. Maybe hands walk farther out. Head can be heavy. About 5 more breaths. And slowly walking those hands back up. Great. Last one here, we're going to bring the legs wide. So same thing, if you're seated, take the feet as wide as it feels comfortable for our hips and legs. If you're in a chair, take those legs out as wide as you can. Sometimes it helps to kind of turn a little kitty corner on your chair, so you're kind of facing one of the edges of the chair, so it's a little bit easier to fold, but you find what works for you. And as we move into this wide-legged shape, it really gets into those inner thighs. So if you feel like those inner thighs need some stretch, but also just kind of taking it easy, bring the fingertips by the sides and just add a little tilt. So you might already feel you are at your edge and this is as far as you want to go, and that's great. Stay right where you are. If it feels okay, you can bring the hands to legs. You can even walk the fingertips forward, but you're definitely not going to be folding as far forward as you had in maybe some of the other shapes that we were making today. So just be very aware of that and really finding your own edge here. Settling in for several breaths. Again, softening what you can. About 5 more rounds of breath. Take your time as you walk those hands back, find your way back into that upright position. Very nice. Slowly bringing legs back together, and we'll end in a bit of relaxation. Feel free to find your way down to your mat. If you're practicing there, maybe bring the back down and just kind of really settle in. If you're sitting in a chair, you can lean back on the back of the chair and really just let the shoulders soften. Let the jaw relax, arms are heavy. Eyes can close if you choose. And as we've practiced these shapes, hoping to find a bit more connection to that deeper self. Taking a few more moments in that space. Staying here as long as you'd like. Thank you for practicing with me today.